Hi, and welcome to another reading with me, Leenna. So this one is about friends. It was requested a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, by Apatite. I did record one, and sorry about the noise. I did record one, and unfortunately I wasn't able to use it. So this is take two, and we're looking at new friends coming in and where to meet them. So I've got three options for you. I've got the clear quartz. We've got the apatite. I'm sorry about my voice, I do have a bit of a cold. And then we also have the red tiger's eye. So you can choose one of the stones, or you can choose the decks. And with the quartz crystal, or the I can't actually remember what I called it just now. With the quartz crystal, we've got the Housewives Tarot. With the Apatite, we've got the Frideborg Tarot. And with the red tiger's eye, we've got the Steampunk Tarot. So I'm sorry, I got a bit of a migraine as well. Well, at the end of it. So if I do stumble across my words and things, please forgive me. And let's hope that we're going to have a good reading to see what new friends are coming in and where might we meet them. We're also going to be using my own do-it-yourself animal cards. And just to remind you that as a patron, you will have access to the templates for it when it's ready, which hopefully will be soon. So let's go on to option number one, which is your clear quartz crystal or rock quartz. And let's look at your new friends coming in and where might you meet them. So this will be where might you meet them. We'll look at that last. And oh, okay, we have the King of Cups fall out, so they might be Cancerian. They might like to have a drink or a cup of tea or some coffee and just chat for hours and hours and hours. They have a lot on their plates, but definitely I think they are a tea or coffee or other drinker. For some of you, they might be British. They might be very English and love, or Scottish and love their shortbread and tea. They do seem to be from overseas, but they don't travel much. They might actually be British, but live in some place like Marbella or somewhere else along the or Algarve, or those kind of areas where they could be retired. They could be a little bit older. They could be a writer. For some of you, they are a retired scientist. And I think either when you speak to them when it's breakfast time at their place, or it could be breakfast time at your place. So if it's breakfast time in your place, it could be dinner time or late afternoon in their place, and that kind of thing. So I think they will introduce you to other members of their family, and they will become very firm friends with you. So let's see. Or they could even be they could become the kind of friends that turns out to be like family. So let's look at their animal card. And we've got the beaver. So they're productive, they're a problem solver, they're a team player, they need guidance and a shoulder to lean on. So I feel that they're actually quite lonely. We're going to pick another one as well. And they could be, I feel like they're older, they're retired, they maybe don't have a lot of family around them. And okay, we've got two. We've got Nightingale. They have a great voice, they're introverted. They could be caught in a cage. They're a bit high maintenance and a bit out of their element. And then we have the great white shark, or the pointer shark, and that's dangerous, sleek, endangered, a bit of a fossil, a game changer, and they're misunderstood. So definitely I feel they're a bit of a fossil. They're kind of old, and they have a different perspective on the world. This actually reminds me of an old friend of mine who unfortunately passed away. And he was from Yorkshire, and he was very quiet and introverted. But when you got talking to him about things, it was just very, very interesting, because even though his outlook was very different. The concepts that he had as a problem solver, as a scientist, as a programmer were quite, the building blocks that we have. So I think you can, they will share a lot of knowledge with you. They could be a little bit depressed as well because they can't see their family. And it's possible that this could be a parent or a grandparent of one of your friends, or just someone who you have similar interests to, and it could be tea, or it could be whiskey, or kind of beer, and you may never meet them, but let's just see what these cards say. So we've got the car, so maybe you will travel to them, and you got temperance. So for some of you, you could also meet them in an AA group or something like that. If you are if you are in their vicinity, it could be some kind of support group for alcoholics or other addictions, or family members of people who have certain addictions. But I mostly feel this is quite an elderly person, and they're just a delight to talk to, and you learn a lot from them. They could also share a lot of recipes with you and talk about the different places they went to, and you could compare how places have changed since they visited it, or they live there, and now that you've visited it, like places like the Greek islands and things like that. They probably visited it in the 50s and 60s before it became all a bit of a party place. And I think you have a lot to learn from each other. So very interesting one. I hope that made sense to you. And I hope you have lovely conversations, and I'm sure they'll introduce you to lots of interesting people in their family or group of friends, and that one day you might actually meet them in person. Or it could be that you're just friends for so long that they are quite elderly when you do get around to meeting them. So that was option 1 with our clear quartz. Oops. And okay, a clear quartz. And now we're going to go on to option number 2, which was the Frideborg Tarot. And that was with the Apatite. And these are going to be when you're going to meet them. Or not when, or where you might meet them. And then let's see who they are. Just checking if it's the right side up. Which side is the deck sitting? Oh, we have cards falling off. So okay, let's take these 4. Magician reversed, the 5 of Swords reversed, 5 of Wands reversed, Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the 5 of Swords reversed. And let's see who else, or who is this person. Queen of Cups reversed, and the 6 of Pentacles. That is so strange, because the rest of the deck is actually upright. So anyway, so this person can be a little bit deceptive. They are coming out of a difficult time. They may be starting a new career or looking for a new career. They could be a little bit lost, actually, and feeling a little bit sorry for themselves. And this is how you might initially think about them, but you'll find that in time they kind of grow on you, and they're actually very generous. And they're the kind of person that would give their last cent to someone who they felt is needier than they are, and then they might also regret it afterwards. But generally this person is not who they seem, but I think that they're actually quite a good person. They're just going through a difficult time when you meet them. They're also kind of in a very anxious rundown phase. They kind of rediscovering who they are. When you meet them, you might, or when you first, on first impressions, they may seem to say things that are quite harsh or might strike you as manipulative, but you'll soon kind of find out that you've been misjudging them the whole time, or that they really quite a sweet person. It's just that they don't really know how to deal with what they're going through. We had kangaroo jump out for their animal. We've got focused, aware, sorry about my writing, relies on instinct. They could be a misogynist or a feminist, and they can be very combative in a corner. So I think when you meet them, they're in their combative mood, and they feel cornered by life. I feel that they could have lost their job, or they're finding it hard to move on from where they are. And then we also have a Clydesdale horse, and this is unchanging. They're a rock in a person's life. They're uncomplaining, healthy, slow but sure, and dependable. And I think this is normally their usual manner and their usual way of being. But when you meet them, they're a bit more like the kangaroo, because they're not sure who they are and what life is supposed to bring to them. This person could also be quite athletic and quite artistic. Their usual work or job or career might be in the arts, or it might be in media, and it could be one of the reasons why they kind of finding it hard to move on to other or to move forward, because they're very used to being in the collective. They're very used to having access to things that they may not have access to at the moment, and this could include makeup and things like that. And so they keep trying to reinvent themselves, so they could come across as very manipulative or unstable when you first meet them. So we have where you might meet them as the Rock and the Magician. So interesting, we got the Magician twice. So they could be, like I said, a performer. They could actually do some kind of magic. They could also be in a drama group, and they could possibly be someone who's an understudy who's trying to get in, onto stage, but for the meantime they're out in the they're in the backstage in the support crew. But you might actually meet them outdoors when you're hiking, when you're going for a walk in the park as well, especially. Some of you might meet them at a tailor or a seamstress, and or even a flea market at a stall that sells costumes or sells upcycled clothes or other fabric or fabric-based things. And it could be that you are looking for a special gift, and this might be their new venture, and this could be what they will ultimately end up getting known for. So yeah, very interesting. The name Malcolm might come to mind, and I'm just laughing because I got the Malcolm in the Middle. So they could look like someone from the TV series Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, I mean, that kind of like Malcolm's hair there, and or you could get talking about that or something like that. So that's what I have for you if you chose the Apatite. So we're gonna go on to our last pile for new friends coming in, and where might you meet them. And this is the Red Tiger's Eye, and this is where you will meet them. And let's look at who's coming in and what we can tell you about them. Whoa, we just have cards flying out everywhere today. So we've got the Nine of Engines and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, or in this deck, the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Leviathans. So this person is quite likely not single. We've got the Captain of Leviathans or Pentacles reversed, as well as the Ten of Airships. So, and one more. Whoa, this person seems to be quite lonely, and they're very driven. I feel that, normally the Nine of Pentacles reverse would indicate someone who is not single. I think this is more their desire to not be single. And this could be someone who wants to make a connection because they don't have anyone else in their life. They've just broken up. They've come through a difficult time. They feel really battered and worn, and could be really, really depressed as well. But they're also looking for a way to break through, and they feel they can do this via a real connection. They might actually be in the music industry, or they might be trying to break into the music industry. And if it's not music industry, they could write music for video or for film, or even for special events. So they could be some kind of composer, but they are kind of they're kind of more lethargic than they usually are. They could be a Gemini or a Taurus. They could also love playing computer games, and this might be one of the ways that you meet them online, playing a computer game or discussing a computer game, or for some of you leaving a comment on YouTube about a computer game. They could be a bit of an introvert, but when they're at work and when they're at their prime, they really can seem very extrovert in the way that they are with people. But I think they will open up to you because they'll feel a very deep connection with you. So let's see what animals come out for them. These are my own cards that I made. Okay, we've got the bear, reassuring, lazy, dominant, cuddly, and a bit of an old soul. It's really funny because I can, even before the bear came out, I just saw someone kind of dragging their feet and, you know, in their old tea and kind of things like that. And we got mantis, deceptive, spiritual, wolf in sheep's clothing, an observer, and maybe a bit of a stalker. So this person could get very, very quickly attached to people and then kind of want to know everything about them and get very kind of you know, Taurus gets very possessive about the people in their life. So this person feels like a Taurus, or a Gemini and a Taurus. They are very spiritual. Like I said, you've got old soul and spiritual there as well. But they kind of lose themselves easily, either because of the nature of their job or because they are in an industry that doesn't allow them to be as spiritual as they'd like to be. And at the moment, it feels like their energy is kind of down. And when you meet them as well, it would be kind of down. So you may find that, you know, this is someone you might just kind of leave a random message on just to kind of make them feel supported. And then you suddenly find that they're always sending you messages or, you know, replying to your comments or kind of reaching out to you in their own way, and then, you know, that friendship might grow from there. So we have the Mask and we have the Emperor. So this person is actually, they're actually quite well off, and they could even be famous. Like I said, for some of you it seems like they're in the music industry or the film industry, and that they used to life being a certain way, to living a certain lifestyle, and now, especially with the COVID-19 restrictions and things, they may not be getting the kind of stimulus and connections or things that made them feel connected that they had before. So they, you know, I think their spiritual side is kind of throwing them off kilter because it's demanding that they have a different kind of connection with people. And I think that that is why if you make this connection with them or they feel it very strongly with you, they could end up being very much sort of trying to be more dominant in your life, but in a, you know, try to make the connection deeper and try to see if you feel the same kind of connection. This is a friendship though. This doesn't feel like a romance. And it's just that they aren't always who they appear to be. So perhaps their you know, their avatar or their name, you know, their screen name is not who they really are. So I just want to pick one more card for this group to just see where this friendship is going. So we've got the Apprentice, which is the Fool. So it will get lighter hearted. You will help each other. And I think both of you have the same sense of humor and that you can help this person feel better. And this is why they want to be your friend. So yeah, so that's what we have for option number 3. If you chose the red tiger's eye. And just a reminder that if you like these kind of readings but in a pick a card with more options, sorry, a pick a card with in audio that you can download, do check out my Patreon. The subscriptions start from $1 and you'll get free access to my fiction as well, including the Trials of Ryan Ramirez, and some free ebooks as well. So and then for most of the picker cards, for access to all the picker cards, it's $2. So you take care, have fun, keep your vibes high, enjoy your new friendships, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.